Hello, brothers and sisters. I wanted to share something with you guys today, and I'm actually going to be open about something that isn't talked about so much, but since, we all could use strengthening, we all could use reassurance, we all could use just something to just boost that certainty that God has already given us, that He's going to come. But the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to kind of give more of a raw and realistic and honest explanation of this waiting process, and at least how it is for me. And if it relates to you, then I just want to let you know you're not alone at all. And I wanted to talk about the difference between those who have fallen off as far as like watching for the Lord. They heard about Him coming forever and ever, and they're just like, okay, I'm not listening to this anymore. I'm not Rapture watching anymore. And all you YouTube people are nuts. You should just stop talking about it. It's not going to happen. Those people and us who watch for Him all the time, and sometimes we just have our days. So I'll talk about that. Like, sometimes I have my days where I just feel so fed up with this place and the darkness, and sick of seeing the things on the news that I see, and just, it's chaos. It's chaotic down here because people have forsaken God. So by rejecting what's good, they embrace what's evil, and it's just destroying them, and it's insanity. To be awake in this kind of a world, it is very difficult. And so, like I was saying, there are those who have fallen off. They've lost their faith, and they've gone back in the world, some of them. But then there's people like me who, I'm full of faith, and then at the same time, I do have my days where I just, it's like I think to myself, like in my quiet time with God, where I'm like, you know what, that's it. Like, I don't even want to watch any more videos talking about the rapture. I don't want to hear any more dreams. I don't want to see any more visions. And obviously when I'm saying this, it's like I don't truly mean it, but I'm just speaking out of my being sick of this world mode. And so I'm saying stuff like, oh, I don't even want to watch videos about the rapture at all. I just want it to happen. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I just want it to happen. But the difference between us when we have our days and people who lost their faith is that I find that I get over myself, and then I go right back to watching videos about how God has given people confirmations, and going back to videos where I'll listen to their dreams and their words that they got from Him. And then, for the people who lost their faith, they might be like, well, why'd you go back? Like, what made you go back? I thought you were tired of hearing it. I thought that you didn't want to hear it anymore, but you wanted to see it. And my honest response is, like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, the love of God is in me, and the love of God is real. So it's like, even if I have my little tantrums, and honestly, I have a lot of tantrums. Jesus is witness, I have a lot of tantrums. But I always get over them. And when I get over them, it's like I go back to videos like that. I go back to conversations like that because it really does delight me. Like when you love someone, you remain interested in that person. Like, even if you, I don't know, have an argument, or like, just on earth, they do something that you don't like, you might want to kind of, I don't know, get your mind off of it, but then you always go back, and you're drawn to them again, and you know how that goes. Now, I'm not saying that I ever at any point that I wanted to just like stop following God or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just using an earthly example of how Sometimes we just have a rough time and we just feel over it, you know? So if this has happened to anybody else where you find yourself like, okay, I'm not even getting on YouTube, I don't want to hear it anymore, I just want it to happen, you're not alone. It happens to me too. But the difference between us and those that lost their faith is that we come, you know, it doesn't even have to be YouTube, but I'm just talking about getting back on track as far as watching, like we were told to be vigilant, like Jesus told us to be. We get right back on track with that. And, you know, the reason why we do it is because we really do love him. We really do want to see him. And we can't stop thinking about it even if we wanted to, because, you know, he's already been so kind to give us understanding. We've had a lot of confirmations. You know, no one has truly asked God out of the earnestness and the honesty of their hearts and not been answered, because that's not what kind of God we serve. Like, if you cry out to him, he absolutely will answer you. Just sometimes it's an answer that you don't want, but we can't say that he doesn't talk to us, because he does. And I'm not just talking about with his voice. You know, he speaks to us, he puts things where they need to be. He'll turn our eyesight to something at the exact perfect time, to the point that you're like, literally, how could that have happened? Like, he will get your attention, he will talk to you, and he'll make it so that you know that you know that you know that he gave you that message. And it's because of that. You know, that's the difference between us and those who don't truly believe. We want to see our Father. We want to be with Christ. We want to. And even if we have our tantrums, we get right back on track. You know? And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And just also to say that God is just so good, you know. It's honestly quite miraculous that we have been able to keep our sanity, you know, because we see a lot of evil. We have a lot of warnings. Some of us have seen awful things in our dreams that are to come, but yet he gives us peace. He gives us, you know, just so much grace to continue, and he really, there's never a time when he doesn't deliver on what he says he'll do. You know, he's trustworthy. So I just wanted to share that today. It's okay to have your tantrums. It's okay, but the thing is that it shows the true condition of your heart when you get right back on track. It shows God that, no, your heart's in it for him. You know, it's not just about, oh, I just want to get up to heaven, get my mansion already. Like, it's him that you want, and that's why you come back. That's why you keep watching. That's why you keep praying. And that's why we keep talking about it. And we're not going to shut up because we can't shut up. The joy of the Lord is in us, and, you know, by faith we keep going. So I just wanted to encourage you guys with that. God bless you. Bye-bye.